Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Guardians franchise here on MLB The Show 22. Today, the Guardians have an opportunity to start the ALCS off with a bang here on the road in Chicago with games 1 and 2. Both of these teams are just 4 wins away from advancing to the 2024 World Series, so we'll see which team can start the ALCS strong here in the Windy City. The Guardians were the second wildcard team in the American League and not only beat Toronto in Toronto, but they shocked the world by defeating the New York Yankees in just 4 games in the ALDS. The Yankees had the best record in baseball through the regular season, but it didn't matter in the playoffs. We performed very well in Game 4, nabbing 16 hits, scoring 6 and only allowing 2. George Valera led the game off with a solo home run and finished a triple shy of the cycle. Shane Bieber, complete game outing. He was fantastic. The team is playing great baseball right now, going into the ALCS against our division rivals, the Chicago White Sox. The offense has performed a lot better than they did last year in the postseason, and the pitching has been pretty strong as well. Our bullpen has been fantastic. The top of the rotation has certainly done their job with Bieber, Fried, and McKenzie. But we've got our hands full here going into the ALCS against the White Sox. We're going to make a small change to the playoff roster, calling up Will Benson. He did pretty well through the final months of the season in the big leagues. And then Carlos Vargas will be going off the playoff roster. Reason being is we don't need Vargas because we're really only running a 4-man rotation now. So we might as well add an extra bat. We finished the season 89-73, 11 games worse than the White Sox, who were consistently above us in the division this year. We played against them in 6 separate season series, so we know these guys quite well, including in the Field of Dreams. That game we lost 7-4. So this is a team who we know very well. They have been at the top of the division really this entire franchise series, and we've been with them these past 2 seasons. Last year, we barely won the division over them, and this year, they may have won the division, but we have an opportunity at revenge. This is a great team. They've got a bunch of very talented players in the lineup. Luis Robert and Raconde Diaboculis both had MVP-level seasons, and they've got some very talented pitchers in the rotation, including the veteran left-hander Clayton Kershaw, who is the number 4 starter for them behind Cease, Kopech, and McClanahan. The White Sox beat the Astros in 4 games in the ALDS, including in Game 3, where they scored 15 runs on 21 hits. Goddamn, that's a lot. So this is a team who we certainly have to fear. They dominated a 97-win Houston Astros team. Those guys are no slouches themselves. And if we look at their numbers throughout the postseason, almost everybody's hitting over 300. I mean, you talk about a team who's hitting for average, who's hitting for power. Their pitching has been good. Dylan Cease and Michael Kopech did not allow an earned run in either of their starts, and those are the 2 pitchers we'll be taking on today. So our lineup certainly has a tall task in front of them, but if we could beat the Yankees 3-1, I think we can handle a White Sox team who we know quite well, and although they finished 11 games better than us in the regular season, when you have division opponents facing off against in the playoffs, I think since the teams know each other quite well, that really neutralizes it, which may help the lesser team, which in this case happens to be us. We're still going to have our hands full regardless. We're still the underdog. The White Sox, certainly the favorite here as we look at both lineups, 1-9. The ace of the staff for Chicago, Dylan Cease, is on the mound. He pitched a 7-inning shutout performance in Game 1 of the ALDS, but lost somehow, some way. So we'll see if he can get back on the win column here today against a very talented Cleveland lineup who did a good job of handling the Yankee staff. Ketel Marte with 1 away. Bloops a hit into left field. That'll go for a single, so Cleveland gets themselves a base runner aboard here at the top of the 1st inning. We'll see if Jose Ramirez can do anything as he draws a walk. Ramirez has done a great job throughout the playoffs of getting on base, whether that's obviously with hits, and he's also drawn a ton of walks. 2-2 count here for Jesus Sanchez, who's been Cleveland's best offensive player so far in the postseason. He goes down on the fastball. Nice pitch there by Cease. 2-1, 2 away for Josh Bell, who has also been fantastic through the start of the playoffs, and he pops this one up behind home plate. Yasmani Grandal makes the play. So the Guardians get a couple of base runners aboard, but they're not able to do anything with them, and they don't score anybody in the top of the first. Max Fried getting the start here in the bottom half of the inning. He pitched in 2 games in the ALDS, one as a starter and one as a reliever. In both outings, he performed quite well and has been a really good trade deadline pickup for this Cleveland team. His day will not start off great as he allows an infield single. Good defense there by Ketel Marte to deflect it away. But that will be a single for the center fielder, Brandon Nimmo. That'll bring up Luis Robert. 1-2 pitch, swinging a miss. Robert was the MVP frontrunner for much of this season. He ended up falling late to Blue Jays third baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Riconde D. Bilkulis, also in the MVP hunt for much of the season, goes down on the 12-6 curve. Good inning for Max Fried. Score is none. Going into the second, Franmil Reyes leads it off for Cleveland. He draws a walk. Reyes has been very disappointing this year in the playoffs after being very disappointing last year in the playoffs. Reyes did have a 2-hit performance in Game 4 against the Yankees, so hopefully he can keep the momentum going as Luis Campusano also draws a walk. Cleveland has drawn 3 walks so far today. Good opportunity to get some early base runners. Full count here for Manny Margot. Hits this one high and pretty well into right field at the track. It is caught. Franmil Reyes will tag up to third. So now there's runners on the corners and 2 away here for the top of the order. A big opportunity here for George Valera to do some damage. And he looks at a fastball pretty much right down the middle. Not sure what Georgie was looking for there as he strikes out. Good job by Dylan Cease to get out of the jam. Still no score going into the bottom of the second. Andrew Vaughn is up for Chicago. He shoots this one into the gap for likely extra bases. It will bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. So the White Sox open the inning with a runner in scoring position. Vaughn now at third, as that'll bring up Sheets, who lines out to short. Good play by Marte to make the play, not letting Vaughn score. Now Chicago's going to need a base hit to drive them in. It's Yasmani Grandal who hits it well into center, nearly to the warning track, but I don't think that's going to be a base hit as Jesus Sanchez is under it to make the play. No score through 2. Both teams are getting base runners on, but they're unable to really do anything with them. Let's see if either team can strike here in the third. Ketel Marte up for Cleveland. Got a base hit in his last at bat, and he gets plunked. So Marte gets hit by the pitch. That's how he will reach base. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez now. 1-2 on its way from Dylan Cease, and he gets plunked. Okay, maybe there's something going on here. I don't know why Dylan Cease would purposely give Cleveland base runners in a playoff game as Sanchez hits that one high, deep, and gone! A 3-run Oppo-Poppo home run for Jesus Sanchez. His 5th home run of the postseason. And the Guardians strike first. They lead 3-0. Hey, Dylan, maybe you shouldn't have, I don't know, hit our batters? Both of them score along with Sanchez. And it's a 3-0 Cleveland lead. Cease looking to get back into a groove as he strikes out the Franmil Reyes. That'll bring up Ramon Romero now, the rookie second baseman, and he gets hit by the pitch. Okay, what the hell is going on here? That's 3 batters who have been hit in this inning. Again, I don't know why you would do that in a playoff game, but I don't know, suit yourself. Unfortunately, unlike the first 2 guys, Romero will not score as following batter Campusano flies out to center. Quite an eventful inning. 3 batters hit, 3-run score, and the Guardians lead 3-0 as we go into the bottom of the third. Garrett Hampson grounds it to short. Good job by Marte to make the play. Garrett Hampson is very, very fast, but he's unable to outrun that ball for the second out of the inning. 2 away for Brandon Nimmo. He got a base hit in his last at-bat, swings and misses at the high slider. So far, so good for Max Fried. He is pitching quite well for Cleveland. The lefty continues to perform at a very high level in the postseason and certainly is warranting a contract extension at the end of the season. Top 4, Manuel Margot leads the inning with a single in a right field as Sheets is unable to make the play at first base. So now Margot is aboard, 1 away for Marte. That pitch could have hit him as well. Margot looking ahead for second, and he is safe. I don't know what the deal is here with Dylan Cease and all these inside pitches. It's starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Nonetheless, Cleveland now has a runner in scoring position. However, Ketel Marte strikes out. Cleveland's going to need a base hit to drive in that batter, and it's Jose Ramirez who drew a walk and got hit by a pitch today as he strikes out. Ramirez reached base in 7 consecutive plate appearances prior to that strikeout. So Dylan Cease gets through the inning, still 3-0, going into the bottom half of the 4th. Raconde Diaboculis goes down on the outside slider. Max Fried is putting on a clinic right now against this White Sox lineup, who really performed well against Houston. Andrew Vaughn singles into center, so they get a base runner here with 2 away. We'll see if they're able to, do anything with that base runner because they've been unable to. Yohan Moncada lines it into right. Valera should be able to make the play, and he does. The White Sox have gotten base runners on in pretty much every inning, but they've been unable to score anybody. Max Fried with one hell of a ball game as we go to the 5th. New pitcher in the game for the White Sox. It's the veteran Lance Lynn, now coming out of the bullpen as he strikes out Jesus Sanchez, who of course had the home run in the last at-bat. Sanchez the only player to drive in any runs so far today. Josh Bell also strikes out, swinging in the dirt at the low sinker. Cleveland looking to start a 2-out rally here, and it looks like they will as Ramon Romero singles into the left center gap. Franmil Reyes got a base hit on the last at-bat as well, but for whatever reason, the recording of that didn't save. I guess my recording software does not want to see Franmil Reyes thrive, and to be fair, we have not seen Franmil thrive too much in the postseason. The 2-out rally will not come to fruition as the pinch hitter Josh Naylor grounds out to third. No runs scored. The Guardians do get a couple of late hits. Still 3-0 going into the bottom of the 5th. Yasmani Grandal with 1 away, singles into center. The White Sox are continuing to get hits, but they're continuing to also not do anything with said hits. Max Fried's pitch count is pretty low. It's only at 60. Make it 61. A grounder to Ramirez, and he way overthrows the second baseman. Not only did that take a while for him to, field, but he also completely misfired on the throw. That could have been a double play. Instead, there's runners on the corners with 1 away and a real opportunity for the White Sox to score as it's a fly out to center. Grandal heads home. The throw from Sanchez to the plate is in time! They got him! A double play finished off by a remarkable throw in center from Jesus Sanchez, who has driven in all 3 runs and prevents a run from being put on the board. Great job by Eliezer Alfonso behind the dish to perfectly apply the tag. Wow, what a play. Let's go to the 6th. Manny Marco leads Vietnam off by drawing a walk. Cleveland's plate discipline today continues to be very solid. Over their half of their base runners have been off of walks as Marte hits a bomb in a right field. That one is gone. 2-run homer for Ketel Marte. And the Cleveland Guardians now lead 5-0. Marte with his second home run of the playoffs. A 411-foot no-doubter. What a beautiful swing by Ketel Marte as the Guardians extend their lead here in Game 1 of the ALCS. Jesus Sanchez looking for more. That one is hit well into left center, but it is caught. In the other 2 games that Sanchez is homered during the playoffs, they ended up as multi-homer games. We can only hope that happens again here. He already has 1. Bottom 6, George Valera, what the hell are you doing? He completely misplays a fly ball from Brandon Nimmo. Should have been an out. Instead, turns into a double. George Valera has not had a very good day today. He is 0 for 3 at the plate. And after that, Cleveland decides to put him on the bench for Zane Rowley. And clearly that defensive play has made an impact on this game as Luis Robert, the following batter, homers into left field. The White Sox are finally on the board as it is now 5-2. Should be 5-1, but George Valera was lollygagging out there in right field, so I guess not. Chicago still has some work to do, but they are kind of back in the game, I suppose. That'll bring up Raconde Diaboculis. He hits this one into the gap, out in right center for possibly extra bases. Rounding first, headed to second. Good job by Rowley to quickly field that one. But it will be a double. Still nobody out, by the way. Chicago's offense is really starting to figure some things out. Andrew Vaughn hits a high, towering shot into center. Sanchez makes the play. Diaboculis should advance to third safely, as he does. Now the White Sox have the runner 90 feet away from home, and an easy opportunity to make it a 2-run game. Moncada swinging a miss on the sinker. Big out for Fried, and now Chicago's going to need a base hit to drive them in, and it looks like they will. This one off the bat of Gavin Sheets. Does a one-hopper off the wall and right. And that'll be an RBI double. So it is now a 5-3 ball game as Chicago only trails by 2 runs all of a sudden. Grandal goes down looking at a 12-6 curve. That'll end the inning. That'll end Max Fried's day. So Cleveland scores 2 in the top half of the inning. The White Sox combat that by driving in 3. Although they really only should have scored 1 if not for that play by Valera. 5-3 your score going into the 7th. 2 away for Romero. 1-2-3 inning for Lance Lynn, who has pitched decently. I mean, he had a bad 6th inning, but that inning was a lot better. Still 5-3 going into the bottom half of the inning. Dylan Tate will replace Max Fried. 6 very strong innings from Fried. We'll see if the bullpen is able to hold up and finish up the job. Leury Garcia leads feeding off. He goes down on the sinker, frustrated with himself, launching the bat towards the dugout. 2 away for Nemo. Hits this one weakly into shallow left. Marte makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning. Good stuff there by Dylan Tate. And the game remains 5-3 with 2 innings to go. Can the Guardians hold on and take game 1? Ryan, brr, it's cold. That was a horrible joke. I'm sorry. He enters the game here in the 8th inning for the White Sox as he faces off against the pinch hitter, Will Benson. His first postseason at bat as a big leaguer, and he strikes out. Nothing too fun there. 2 away now for Zane Rowley. Only 1 for 10 so far in the playoffs, and he will stay 1 for 10 as he draws a walk. So Rowley is now aboard, and that'll bring up Ketel Marte, who had the 2-run homer in his last at-bat. You know, another one here would be pretty sick. Instead, he grounds it to third. What a play by Moncada. They get Rowley out at second. So nothing doing there in the top half of the 8th. Score remains 5-3 in favor of Cleveland. Going into the bottom half of the 8th, Dylan Tate remains in the game as Robert hits this one into right, and it will drop for a hit. Zane Rowley unable to make the play, and with Robert's speed, he will end up at second off of a really bad throw to the cutoff man by Zane Rowley. Not that it would have really done any difference. So the Guardians are going to take Tate out of the game and replace him with Camilo Duvall. So in other words, don't expect the White Sox to score in this inning. Duvall strikes out Riconde Diaboculis. Andrew Vaughn goes down on the way outside slider for the second out of the inning. Now Chicago's going to need a base hit to score this run as Moncada flies it into left. Will Benson under it to make the play. I told you Chicago wasn't going to score. 5-3 going into the 9th inning. Can the Guardians hold on for victory and take game 1 of the ALCS here, stealing 1 away on the road? Jose Ruiz is into the game for the White Sox here in the top of the 9th inning. Hasn't allowed a run in 1 inning of postseason baseball. 2-2 count, 2 away for Josh Bell. Pops it up in the infield. Moncada will make the play. So the White Sox pitching and defense does their job. Now it's time to see if the offense can do the job here going into the bottom of the 9th inning with the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up. Not ideal if you're a White Sox fan. Those guys will be going up against the closer, Emmanuel Clase, who's 2 for 2 in save opportunities so far in the playoffs, looking to add a 3rd one to his name. He starts with Gavin Sheets, who grounds it to short. Marte, routiner, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Good hustle by Sheets, but he was unable to get to first in time. 2 more to go, as that'll bring up Grandal. The 9th pitch of the at-bat, also the last one. He goes down looking on the outside fastball. Game comes down to Leury Garcia, who hits it well into right. Rowley cannot make the play, and Chicago's going to keep it alive for a little bit longer. Rounding second, headed to third. It'll be a 2-out triple for Leury Garcia. The tying run is at the plate. It's Garrett Hampson who strikes out on the fastball, and the Guardians survive. They take home game number 1 by the final score of 5-3. Quite the thrilling matchup here in the south side of Chicago, as your Cleveland Guardians are now 3 wins away from advancing to the World Series for the first time in 8 years. What a win here for Cleveland in a game where the offense was pretty mid. I mean, they weren't bad, 6 hits, 5 runs, but our pitching really stood tall. We only allowed runs in 1 inning. Chicago got 3 in the 6th. They shouldn't have gotten 3 in that inning. They should have gotten 1. But that's neither here nor there. Need to see more consistency from the offense. But when we did get base runners, we capitalized with the 2 home runs by Sanchez and Marte. Max Fried gets the win. He was very good. The bullpen was very good as well. As for Chicago, Dylan Cease takes home the loss. The back end of their bullpen did pretty well. And overall, Chicago's pitching was pretty good. They got 10 hits. They just didn't capitalize with runners on base. So that'll bring us to Game 2. If Cleveland can take a 2-0 series lead, oh boy, would that be a big deal. Cleveland won the first 2 games of the ALDS in New York against the Yankees. And, well, the series never returned to New York. So if Cleveland can take home this game right here, that would be a huge boost of momentum going back to Cleveland for games 3, 4, and if needed, game 5. So we'll see how this matchup goes. Not necessarily a must-win game for Chicago, but they can't really afford to lose this one in the rain. Should be a fun battle. We'll see if this game is possibly put into a rain delay as we look at the 2 lineups, 1 to 9. Ramon Romero, Zane Rowley, and Eliezer Alfonso, the 3 rookies, all starting today for Cleveland. Michael Kopech on the mound for the White Sox. He had a great first postseason outing, did not allow a run in 6 1/3 innings. This is the same pitching matchup as the Field of Dreams game earlier in the season with Michael Kopech, and as you'll see later, Shane Bieber on the bump for Cleveland. Dansby Swanson hitting leadoff today. He goes down looking on the slider. Interesting strategy. Swanson did not play in Game 1. That'll bring up Ketel Marte. He goes down on the circle change. Good start to the outing here for Michael Kopech as he faces off against Jose Ramirez now with 2 away. 316 average in the postseason, over 500 on base percentage. That would have been a base hit if not for the shift. Good work by the White Sox defense as Kopech retires the side 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Let's take a look at Shane Bieber making his 3rd postseason outing. He pitched in the wild card game. He pitched in game number 4 of the ALDS against the Yankees. It's been, I think, 6 days since game 4, so he is certainly well rested as Garrett Hampson looks to go for the drag bunt, and it almost worked. But Alfonso, making his first postseason start, is quickly able to make cleanup work. Luis Robert with 2 away, hits it well into right center. That one will drop in the gap, likely for extra bases. Robert stands up at second with a double. Now the White Sox have one of their fastest base runners aboard in scoring position. We'll see if they can drive him in here with Eloy Jimenez up to the plate. He goes down on the cutter. So Shane Bieber's able to get out of the inning with no trouble, and nobody scores in the first inning. Let's travel into the second. We'll see if either team can look to score first. Jesus Sanchez leads it off for the Guardians, and he draws a walk. So Cleveland gets their first base runner of the day. We'll see if they can do anything with him. That'll bring up Josh Bell, the 2-2. That one is in the dirt. Sanchez looks to go for 2. The throw from Grandal is in time. They got him. Jesus Sanchez kind of hesitated there, and ultimately that kind of backfired. I think he would have been safe otherwise. Full count pitch for Bell. He draws a walk. So Sanchez didn't even need to swipe for second, unfortunately, because he would have got there eventually with the walk anyway. That brings up Ramon Romero. Hits this one into the gap for extra bases. This one looks like it could turn into a double. Runner headed home. The throw to the plate. It's going to be close. They got him out. The White Sox get 2 of their 3 outs in this inning by throwing out base runners. First it was Sanchez. Now it was Bell, robbing what could have been an RBI double from the rookie Ramon Romero. And Cleveland does not score anybody in the top half of the second. Bottom 2, Chicago opens up the inning with a base hit. We'll see if they can get anything off of that, as there's nobody away. Real opportunity for them to strike. Runner heads for 2. The throw from Alfonso is in time! Another runner has been thrown out. That was Diabolculus looking to go 2, and he's gunned down by Eliezer Alfonso for the first out of the inning as we look at that beauty again. Yeah, clear as day. He was out of there. That'll bring up Yasmani Grandal, the 2-1, and Grandal crushes it into left center field. That one is gone. Solo home run for the White Sox. Would have been 2-0 if Diabolculus didn't go to second. Instead, it's only 1-0. Still a productive at bat there for the White Sox. Looking to drive in some more as Torres hits it into right. Marte cannot make the play. Torres rounding first, headed to second. That'll end up as a double. So far, Shane Bieber's getting rocked in this inning. The first 3 batters he's faced have all gotten base hits. That'll bring up Gavin Sheets. He singles into right. Runner heads home. Bad throw by Marte. He could have easily gotten the runner out with a good throw, but completely misfired, and the White Sox now lead this game 2-0. Not a great start here for Cleveland. It looks like they're going to get out of the inning as Hampson grounds out to third. Jose Ramirez makes the play. So the Guardians get through the bottom of the second, but not before allowing two. The White Sox look pretty good as they lead this one 2-0. Into the third we go. Zane Rowley swinging at the high heat. I think he was expecting that pitch to be an off-speed pitch and curve down. That, however, does not happen. 2 away now for Dansby Swanson, the 2-2. He goes down on the inside fastball. Michael Kopech is dealing through 3 innings. Kopech is not the most consistent pitcher, but when he's on, he's on. Bottom 3, Bieber looking to get back into a groove as he gets Brandon Nimmo to go down on the cutter. 2 away for Eloy Jimenez. Hits this one nicely in a left center. Zane Rowley should make the play. Good 1-2-3 inning for Bieber. No base runners from either team in the third inning as it remains 2-0. Hopefully the Cleveland offense can wake up because so far they look pretty dreadful so far. Into the fourth inning, Jose Ramirez with 1 away draws a walk. He has to lead all of baseball in walks this postseason. There's no way he doesn't. He's drawn so many. That'll bring up Jesus Sanchez for 1-2. Grounds it right to second. 4-6-3. Inning-ending double play. Right when the Guardians get a base runner, they completely, do that. Bottom 4. Diaboculas opens up the inning with a walk for Chicago. They want to get some early base runners, looking to extend this lead as Grandal goes down looking on the cutter. Shane Bieber's pitch count is slowly but surely starting to get up there, now in the mid-60s as he gets Gleyber Torres. With Bieber's shaky second inning, I'm not sure how much longer Cleveland can expect him to go. Things don't look like they're going to get much better here in the fourth. That one goes into the left field corner. Rowley gets to it slowly. Run barely scores, and it's now 3-0. An RBI double off the bat of Yoan Moncada. That'll bring up Gavin Sheets, who hits an absolute frickin' nuke into center field at the track at the wall. It's caught. That could have been really bad. In some parks, that probably is a home run. Sheets hit a bomb, but Sanchez is able to make the play. Now into the fifth inning, Josh Bell draws a walk. Cleveland has done a good job of drawing some walks, but they don't have a base hit since, I think the first inning. Franmil Reyes is now up. Grounds this one to short. 6-4-3. Whenever Cleveland gets base runners, it seems like they grounded double plays or just do nothing with them. The offense continues to look like a disaster. Ramon Romero strikes out on the fastball, so Kopech gets through another inning with no problem. Still 3-0. Cleveland still only with 1 hit the entire game. Chicago's offense keeping it moving here in the bottom of the fifth as that's a ground rule double off the bat of Garrett Hampson, and from there Cleveland's going to pull the plug. Shane Bieber's day is done. 4 innings, 3 earned runs allowed so far. Not his best outing, albeit on one less day of rest. Nick Sandlin coming into the game to replace him as he strikes out Brandon Nimmo. Good start. We'll see if this can, lead to anything. 2 away now for Eloy Jimenez. He goes down as well on the slider. Great job by Nick Sandlin to enter the game in a jam, get through the inning, and so it remains 3-0. Top 6, Kopech still wheeling and dealing as Swanson hits it into left. The first hit in a while for the Guardians. Dansby Swanson rolls into second, sliding with a double. So now Cleveland is a runner in scoring position. Is this where they finally get on the board today? It's Ketel Marte, the 3-2. He hits it high and well. Deep in the left center. Track, wall, see ya. You can put that one on the board. Yeah. 2-run homer for Ketel Marte, his second home run of the ALCS, third home run of the playoffs overall, and it's out 3-2. The Guardians are back in the game with 1 swing of the bat. From there, Kopech's day is done. Michael Kopech was fantastic in this game. Don't take anything away from him. He'll be replaced by Matthew Thompson, a name we know on this channel from our Orioles series last year. Started in a no-hitter in a playoff game, ironically here in Chicago, as Jose Ramirez grounds out to first. Bottom half of the inning, Dylan Tate checks into the game for Cleveland. His inning appears to be going pretty smoothly. Dansby Swanson bobbles it, however, but they do get the out, second of the inning. That'll bring up Gleyber Torres now, the 1-1. Monster shot into right field. That one nearly makes it out of the first deck. A home run for Gleyber Torres, and it is now a 4-2 ball game. 2 away for Yoan Moncada. Singles into left. If it drops, which it does, right in front of Zane Rowley. So they've got another runner on, hitting the ball well here against Dylan Tate. That'll bring up Gavin Sheets. Grounds it to short. Swanson flips it over to second. Not a bad inning for both offenses as they get back on the board. 2-run homer for Cleveland. Chicago answers with a solo home run. 4-2 going into the 7th. Chicago still has a nice lead, and the Guardians have some groundwork to do as Josh Bell strikes out looking on the outside fastball. That one looked like a ball, but I guess not. Franmil Reyes swings at a pitch he shouldn't have, late and out of the zone. Good inning for Thompson, and it remains 4-2 going into the bottom half of the inning. James Karinchak is in for Cleveland, just his second postseason appearance of the season. Hasn't been used too much in the playoffs, and well, I guess that's why, as he allows an early hit. Jesus Sanchez unable to make the play. Nearly a double, but the speedy base runner will hold firm at first base. Weak dribbler to third. Ramirez hesitates. Then he goes to first. Good job by Ramirez to quickly realize he's not getting the out at second. That'll bring up Luis Robert. He draws a walk. So now there's runners on first and second. A big opportunity for the White Sox to break open the game, and that they will do. Eloy Jimenez with a 3-run homer into right center field, and it is now a 7-2 ball game. Jimenez with his 3rd home run of the postseason, and now Cleveland's really in trouble. Ramon Romero hits it into center. Robert with a diving grab for the first out of the inning. Great defensive play by Robert. He didn't really need to get over dramatic there, but it does the job. And I'll bring up Josh Naylor, swinging and missing in the dirt. Don't know what he was swinging at. That was not a good pitch. Miguel Castro is in the game here in the bottom half of the inning for the Guardians. He's not allowed to run in 2/3 of an inning so far in the playoffs as he strikes out Gleyber Torres. Certainly hoping to pad the bleeding, not extend the lead, and it looks like that'll happen as this one is flown into center, caught by Jesus Sanchez. Cleveland has some groundwork to do. They have scored 5 runs in 17 innings in this postseason series. Well, they need to score 5 in the 9th to keep the game alive, and it'll be against the closer, Liam Hendriks. In this series, the Guardians have owned Liam Hendriks. We've got some epic comebacks against him, so if there's anybody we can start a rally against, I do think it is Liam Hendriks. However, the inning does not start off strong. The strikeout to Dansby Swanson, 1 away. That'll bring up Ketel Marte, who homered in his last at-bat. The 1-2 goes down to the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Not looking like Cleveland's going to have that cool comeback as the game comes down to Jose Ramirez. He does put it in play. Weak grounder, fielded cleanly, and the White Sox tie the ALCS up at 1 as they win this game 7-2. The game was competitive for most of it. However, the White Sox had a few big hits late in the game. The homer by Torres in the 6th. The 3-run homer by that man, Eloy Jimenez, in the 7th. So Cleveland takes game 1. The White Sox take game 2. Overall, I feel pretty satisfied with the start of the ALCS. I am a little bit concerned about the offense. We've had 2 lackluster games. I think we only have 9 hits through 2 games. That's not good. That's not good at all. We're hitting for good power. We're hitting well when we're getting runners on base. The problem is we're not getting runners on base consistently. And, well, if we continue to struggle with that, that'll be a problem. The NLCS is pretty close as well. The Rockies won game 1. The Mets won game 2. Cool to see a wild card team like us in the Mets also in the conference series. That'll wrap up today's episode. Next time we will return home. Hopefully the team can really figure it out on offense because it has been tough sledding in Chicago. Only 9 hits. So hopefully we can hit better in Cleveland. I think we are a better home team offensively, so that should bode well for us. We're also facing off against the lesser part of the White Sox rotation, although I guess the lesser part of our rotation will be pitching as well. That'll wrap up the episode. Hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.